ask me things with no warning. Has someone been questioning for you?
She used to lie and to buy
In my time,
just to make me feel good.
I was stoned on my couch, and I just thought to myself, like, I should make an album with Binki Shapiro, and I was like all stoned and I couldn't remember. I wrote it down really big letters on the couch, itself. And then I remember, so then I called her. She said yes. Then we got started. She only lived a few blocks away from me, so she just came over. Well, I mean, in a weird way, I think it's kind of a self-consciously adult album, you know, because it's like, kind of, you know, maybe like I got divorced or something, and or, you know, her relationship ends, and we just sort of write an adult album about breaking up or something. But there's some kind of like redemptive quality in it. Like I don't know, just because it's pretty, you know, and I think I wanted to make a pretty album, and I wanted to make an album with her specifically because I thought she has such a great voice, and it makes me very relaxed to hear it. So.
someone who really knows you offers no mystery to slave through.
I can't do that, and it ain't so bad.
I like that Binki sings like very much like a lady, you know? I kind of enjoy that. Very intelligent sounding and articulate. And she's very artistic as well. I try to write songs mostly by walking around and singing into like a recorder or phone or whatever, you know? Like, I like to be moving, and then just sort of like, that gets me a natural rhythm to sing to. I don't usually like to write songs on the guitar because I'm not a very good player, and I think I always played the same chords, so it's just sort of boring that way. So I like to try to make up something when I'm walking. But in this case, with the Binki record, I had all kinds of lyrics on like scraps of paper, like, you know, just like lying around my house. Like, we would like just sort of go through them and we'd put them on the floor, and sort of like, at least a start for the song would just be picking from just some scraps of paper.
All the women in the factory, when their faces blow a fuse, it's a miracle. I have to feed them facts to be alone. Magnifico. Oh, fellas and umbrellas in the middle of the night. What you gonna do when the Mennonites bite?
I guess my music was called anti-folk back when I was a kid, and I didn't mind it because I guess like I welcomed it because I thought nobody likes this word anti-folk, and so it's better to be labeled as something that nobody likes than as something that people like, because that's a lot of pressure, you know. But yeah, so I don't mind it. I'd actually be anti-folk, and people could call me that because I think it's best to be something that nobody likes.
This is not a good day to call me, because I cannot spare some sympathy. My own feeling is mostly unclear. When I'm talking to you, I'm not here. I don't think I'll ever be ready for you, but I'll be trying to help it out too. So I went downstairs for a walk, but I had no strength to not talk. Yes, you are.
My favorite thing about tour? Well, I mean, you know, honestly, I like to play a concert. I'd play one every night if I could, because it just like makes me feel like alive and like I'm in the right place at the right time. I mean, like, it's impossible to be at your concert and feel like you're at the wrong place, because like it's just like a self-fulfilling prophecy that you'll book a concert and then you'll come play that concert. So it's like yeah, like it's an automatic good feeling. So I mean, plus I don't know, it's just fun to feel like that kind of connection with people, like just like a warm connection, and like to sing. I mean, as silly as it sounds, honestly, like it's almost like being in a circus, like, you know, like singing. If there was a tent and then I was in the circus tent and I was like a singing man, and you'd give me like €1 per song. My music is almost like cartoons or something, you know? Like, I think a lot of the ideas I want to communicate were things, maybe because in my brain I think in more cartoons, like, or like comic book or something. So when I write, I think that comes out, and then when I draw, I think I kind of like try to make the cartoons look like romantic, like they're kind of like music or something, and I want the, so I try to mix it together. I mean,
here comes Brady with his $50 baby coming out the alleyway, and here comes Davy with his funny little lady wiping all the tears away. Oh, those guys
people that grow up with the in the internet time. It's like you really grow up in a video game. So you know your life is more like about living in a computer or something. So I feel grateful to have done a lot of music before that was the case. But at the same time, like example, I made a movie on my phone, you know, and I don't know, it's just a different thing. So then making The Wrong Ferrari, I started to say like, oh, I can act and then I can make like all the sets and they can look like my paintings. So I can like paint all the pictures and then act in them. And then I want to like sing in that. So I think it can all just look like an Adam cartoon. I shot the movie on the iPhone because it was the only camera that I had. And it seemed like a very good idea because we could make up the scenes on tour wherever we were. And for example, when we were in Venice with Francesco, we like shot in a gondola, you know, and I don't think that the gondola driver realized that we were making a movie. I don't think anyone who would have seen us make the movie realized we were making the movie because we just had our phone. So it was pretty cool. The original idea was conceived because I was really involved in doing this drug called ketamine, which is this crazy drug. It's called ketamina, I think in Italian. It's crazy, and it was just inspired the movie. It took me a while to figure out what it was doing to my brain, but it was making it like very leaky. I think there was a lot of holes in my brain. And then the movie came out, one of the holes.
There's a handout on the cocksup filled with white tears from the thrift store. She's an eyesore in her red dress. I'm the ghost of her deceased when she said, give us back our life, leave him.
I saw ketamine like it was noise, like digital noise, and it was like, that's how I feel about a lot of things. I feel like a lot of things are just kind of noise, especially in modern society. It's like I think it's very hard for us to appreciate formal things without the noise component because like, you know, everyone like you get your jeans and then people want them to be like all scratched up already, you know, and everyone like you get your music and everyone wants it to be like put through some kind of effect to sound like it's like worn out and distorted, and there's just so much noise that everyone puts on everything, just, you know, like just to give it a context, like, you know, so I think in that way that kind of formalism is hard to digest without the extra noise. There's always something very bruised in everything I do. Like I think it's like, you know, it's like I like this kind of like, just like the color of like red wine or like purple or like dark colors, and just so I like, as silly as it all is, you know, it's like I can be a real idiot like dancing around like on stage like I'm like Donald Duck, but then I like to have it be like bruised like Dracula, and I like it to be like tragic or like romantic, you know. And I guess I believe in like a lot, like love a lot, you know, so it's different, you know. It's always a practice in trying to have a contrast.
When she stopped talking to me, I knew that she would create a problem. And after 5 seconds flat, she came at me just like a goblin.
I want to make a movie where it's my own version of Aladdin. I'm going to play Aladdin, and I have the lamp, you know, and just get wishes. And then my hope is to get Benicio del Toro to play the genie, but I don't know him at all. I have to like figure out how to ask him to play the genie. But and it's going to have Macaulay Culkin is going to play in the movie, and I don't know. I have to write it when I get back from the tour, so I'm in the process of writing it, and I want to do the music for that, so it'll be like a music and movie project.
We'll get there fast, and we'll take it slow. That's where we want to go. Way down to Kokomo. Ciao.